What is up, YouTube? It is Fossil Fish Keeper here, and I'm really excited because today is my first video on YouTube, and I'm really excited to get into this and show you guys my fish and take you along on my journey with the fish hobby. Alright, so I'm going to make a different video, actually telling you everything about my little past about, the fish keeping and everything. But long story short, I am in love with fish, and in particularly monster fish. So this is pretty much what my channel's gonna be about, is my fish collection hobby. I also have two other channels you might want to check out. I have my Godzilla fan channel, because I'm a huge fan of Godzilla, so I do everything Godzilla on that channel, and dinosaurs, which is called Kikizilla 101. I'll put the link in the description. And I also have my video game channel, which is Goji Gamer, which I'll also put in the description, which I'm going to be doing a lot more work on that, me playing on Overwatch with my friend, so keep an eye out for that. Anyways, on to this. This is my hobby right now, pretty much, is these two tanks, alright? And that right here is my honorable mention. This is my leopard gecko tank. It's really messy right now. I have not cleaned it. There's a paper towel on the bottom. I have to take that out and clean it out. I'm going to do that in a little bit. That's the honorable mention. I don't know if you can see them in there. You can see one of their tails, kind of. But this is my monster fish tank, and this is my blue lobster tank. So, yeah, these are my two tanks with the fish hobby and what I'll be focusing on. Now, you might be wondering, why is my monster fish tank 10 gallons? Well, I have been moving a lot. I'll explain more of that in the video about my background, but for now, I'll just say I've been moving a lot because my dad's in the military, and so I've been in one house before, which I couldn't really have much bigger than this 10-gallon. And then I'm in this house, and I'm about to move into my actual house, so I'll soon be able to actually get a bigger tank and get them into the tank that I want them to be in. So that's why I'm starting right now, because you guys can see the transition. But, yeah, so, and I'm actually technically not even supposed to have this tank inside this house, so, yeah, that was a mistake on my behalf. I didn't know, and I went ahead and got it, and without my parents' permission, so, well, without thinking. I asked them permission, but none of us were really thinking. Okay, long story short, that. Anyways, that's that. But this tank is my monster fish tank, so I'll first introduce you to everybody inside of there. And I'm going to move my lobster tank real quick. And they were both just cleaned. These tanks were both just cleaned, so they're looking presentable. I just cleaned out the filter on this tank as well. So, as you can see right there. So this one is still messy because my filter, I haven't gotten the stuff to put these filters together and get them in here. So, and he's going to be getting a new tank anyways, but I give him a water change every other day. So this is actually really clean. It's just I moved it, so a bunch of the gunk is all stirred up, but it's actually a really clean tank, and you can see his earthworm right there, and there he is poking out. But anyways, about a month ago, well, this tank I've had since the middle of December, and so pretty much everything in here I've had since then, including the gravel and the tank. I can give you the whole background on my tank in a different video, but I've always wanted an Oscar, okay? So I thought Oscars were cool, and I had my first Oscar, and a lot of bad crap happened, and he ended up passing away, but it broke my heart, and I really love Oscars, and they're just so awesome, they're interesting, they're beautiful, and they're just really personable fish and very intelligent. They're wet pets. And so I finally had this guy for a month, and he's doing amazing. He's extremely healthy. As you can see, he's moving around. His name is Phoenix. Or I don't know if it's a he or she, but their name is Phoenix right now. They're really awesome. They always, I'll just call him a he for now. He always comes up to the edge right here and just squirms around whenever I come into the room because he's excited. And he'll jump out of the water to get some of the food out of my hand sometimes. And, yeah. But, other than that, he is the newest addition to this tank. The oldest addition to this tank is my pleco. And I love plecos. I think plecos are awesome. They look prehistoric, and I actually got this guy when he was 2.5 inches. He's about 5 inches now. I haven't measured him. Last time I measured him was like a week and a half ago, and he was 4.5 inches, or just over 4.5 inches, but he looks about 5 inches now. So he's growing big, And I had him back in December, and I had a Pleco before him, but that one sadly passed away because I got it from a bad store called Myers. I would never buy any fish from there. And he was like this long, and he ended up passing away, unfortunately. But I got this guy at 2.5 inches, and he's been growing well. His name is Shadow, and he's a very, very interesting Pleco, and I can tell you some pretty cool stories about him in some of my other videos. But yeah, that's Shadow. So he's a cool Pleco. He's really personable. He's awesome, and he's just over there chilling out. And he's been in here the longest since the late December. Late December, he's been in there. So now there's Sharkbait. He's my Bala shark. And you might be wondering if any of you guys know what Bala sharks are. Then you know that they need to be in schools. And I actually had 3 of them. But you see, I didn't use this lid too much because it would keep on falling off and it would make a big ruckus in the night and everything, so I decided to not use it. But so I had an open tank, open top tank, and that's a very, very bad idea. And I'll get more into that later. But while moving, I was in the hotel and I hooked everything up so they could be fine, and one of them, Black Tip, the biggest one and the kind of the leader of the group, he actually ended up jumping out. He got scared in the middle of the night, and he died. And I would save this because it's very hard for me to talk about. I would save this for a different video, but I just want to make sure that if this is the only one of my videos you see, that you make sure that if you have anything like Bala sharks or any fish at all, just please, please, for the love of God, put a top on your tank. Just it's not going to hurt you. And I have to actually cut this out because there's a little gap here, but fortunately he can't really get through it. He's big, and I constantly check to make sure he's fine. So I have faith in that he will not jump out. But Sharkbait's the last one because the second one I was also having him in here, and when I first put my Oscar in here, he scared him and he came out, and so I lost 2 Bala sharks to jumping on. I'm gonna have to get him 2 other buddies, at least 2 other buddies, so he has a full school. But that's Sharkbait. He's the only one left. The other one that jumped out was Riptide. I have some pictures of them I can show you in some other video, but unfortunately Sharkbait is the only one left. He is my favorite one, so that's good. And he has quite an interesting story. I can tell you about him when I give him his video of his little story. But he's doing well, he's all healthy, and just trying to keep out of the way of the Oscar. That's pretty much it. But that's Sharkbait, Shadow, and Phoenix went somewhere. I don't know where he went. I think he's down there. Yeah, he's down. He's right there. Now, it's a little murky in here because I have this a little overstocked for this tank, and there is only 3 of them in there, but they're very messy eaters, especially this Oscar, so it kind of murkies up the tank, and I have a 10 to 20 gallon filter on there. But don't worry, because once I'm getting my bigger tank, I will be getting them a better setup and a very strong filter, so they should be fine. But they're all doing healthy and well, so that's good, and my parameters are excellent, so there's no biggie there. Now, if you'll ignore all of the gunk in here, there is a blue lobster inside of that. And that was actually inside of my lizards tank. And that's a very special rock to me because my lizards I've had for over 10 years now. And my first one in there, or the oldest one in there, Jack, she actually, and I'll have some cool stories about her. But Jack, yes, her name is Jack. She lived inside of that for a long time. It was her little thing. I didn't know it was an actual aquatic thing, but I bought it anyways. But I had it inside of my storage because I got them a new one, a bigger one, so they had more room. And so I decided to completely fix this one. I boiled it in hot water. I let it soak for a day, and I put it through the dishwasher. So that's completely sterile, and I put it inside there after, you know, many years of being used. So he has a place to hide now, and I took a couple of the plants that I got for that and put them in here. But he's really awesome, and I actually have a cool story about him as well that I will end up telling you guys about. But he's the newest addition to this collection, which I just got him a couple of weeks ago. I think it was 3 weeks ago. So yeah, I think I've gotten the Oscar a month and a week ago, and this guy 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. So I got him about 2 weeks after the Oscar because I walked into Petco with my uncle. We were looking around, and I was actually looking for that Oscar, and I picked him out, and I met this blue lobster, and he was just the most cool little thing. He just constantly up against the edge of the tank, like nipping at me, like with his little pinchers. So I ended up doing some research on them, and 2 weeks later I ended up getting him. And he's in this tank. The people at Petco were obviously skeptical, but I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm doing daily water changes. I gave him cycled water from that tank when I put him in here at first, and so he's all good. And he's been doing he's been doing great. He's all healthy. He's fine. He's been eating. He actually has some earthworm right there that he hasn't finished yet. And so he's doing great. And I cleaned this out with my filter, which is right here in this bag. I just was using it, so I clean it out a lot. But obviously I can't do very much. But he's going to be getting a full-fledged 20-gallon with a on-the-back filter once I move into my new house, which is going to be happening within the next 2 weeks. So, well, actually, technically my old house. But, yeah, that's pretty much him. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to want to come out. You can see his pincer right there. He's really cool. I love him. I do not have a name for him yet. I'm just kind of calling him the Blue Lobster. I'm thinking about Glacier, maybe. I think I might want to call him Glacier because it was a really pretty blue color. But yeah, it's pretty much that. That's my tank setup. So yeah, it's my quick introduction to my channel and my fish. And I hope you guys will stick around and watch my videos and see how my hobby evolves, because I'm really excited to get into it and actually get into some stuff. So for now, I'm just gonna move him right back next to this tank because they're using the same light. Because I'm trying to, not buy too much crap because I'm kind of low on money and we're going through some tough times right now. So I'm just using the best of what I've got. And so yeah, that's pretty much that. I'll make some videos on them individually and do some descriptions like what I feed them, their backstories, everything about them, some other personalities, tell you some stuff about them, some interesting stuff, show you some pictures, and give you some footage of them. So that'll be pretty much that. You can look forward to that in the near future. And I'll even be talking about my lizards because they can be a part of this channel as well, just a little honorable mention part. But most of it is about my fish hobby. And so in case before you are worried about anything about the health of the fish, they're all doing great. They're all healthy, as you can see. This guy's just being a little hidey right now. So yeah, but everything is going great. They're all fine. They're all doing great. And this guy's going to be getting a 20-gallon once I move into my my old house, and these guys are going to be getting a 75-gallon. And no, that is not their final tank at all. I'm actually planning on getting them a 150-gallon tank, but I can't fit that in my room, which is upstairs, and that is just too much weight to have up there. So I'm not going to be doing the 150-gallon immediately, but we are going to be building a room into our basement once we move back in there. So I'm going to be taking that room, hopefully, and I'll be able to have the 150-gallon in there. And I'm eventually I'll be moving out, and yeah, so the 150-gallon will be their permanent tank, but the 75 will be their temporary. And I actually have further plans for the 75, so I'm not just buying it just as a holding tank, because I actually wanted a 75 anyways for different fish, but I'm going to have to wait on those fish and just let these guys live in it for then. So yeah, but also I had a bunch of plans for other fish I want to put in this monster tank, but I have to hold off on that right now because I don't want to cloud up the water any more than it is right now. I wanted to get his two schooling buddies for shark bait, and I was thinking about possibly getting some clown loaches to put in there to help clean up the bottom because my pleco is doing a terrible job. And that's another thing. I'll give you a little tip right now that I'll make a video on it later, a full-fledged video, but don't get plecos as cleaners. They're not good cleaners. They'll grow up, they'll get very aggressive, they get huge, and they don't like cleaning up as much when they're younger. They'll do some good, I mean, when they're older, they'll do some cleaning when they're younger, but they're not really that good. And I didn't get him for that. I got him because I love plecos, because I think they're awesome looking. So, yeah, but that's pretty much my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like what you see and want to keep up to date with my channel, then please click that subscribe button below. Please give me some feedback with the like and dislike buttons and in the comment section below. I appreciate everything you guys can say and tell me how I'm doing. And I hope you guys stay tuned for my future videos, and I'll just show you guys my fish before they leave, or before I go. I'm going to just show you right there. There's the back of him. He's really big. Actually, I'll put my hand next to him so you can see. He's really big, if that helps. There's shark bait, and Phoenix is right there. Hi, buddy. Say bye. Alright. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and catch you guys in the next one.